Hi all, in today's video I'm going to cover CRUD example in Spring Boot along with connectivity with the H2 database. H2 database is nothing but in-memory database. What Spring Boot is providing, there is some in-memory database. So I'm just going to use for today H2 database, how we can enable it, and I'm going to cover the CRUD example. So CRUD example is nothing but just simple is C for create, R for read or retrieve, U for update, and D for delete operation. So these are the basic four operations which will be covered in this video tutorial. So basically the CRUD operations, as I have already mentioned, create, read or retrieve, update, and delete. These are the four basic functions that we are going to cover. So there is the HTTP methods that we are going to use for today call, like post, get, put or patch, and delete. So basically there is some standard CRUD operations which we are going to perform. So create operation is nothing but it is simple insert operation. Like if you are going to add some record into the database, so that is nothing but insert operations, which is create operations. So if we are going to fetch any record from the database, either it is based on our input parameter or any parameter what we are going to get our response based on the input parameter. So that is the read operation. And for some of the existing records in the table, if you wanted to update any informations, so that purpose we can use our update operation. So delete is nothing but once we wanted to delete any one of the records, either it will be based on any parameter. So that is the delete operation. So basically we are going to use here some CRUD repository or either the JPA repository. So I'm just going to cover it, and then I'm going to use one of the repository. Like for example, for today, I'm going to cover this CRUD repository basically. So CRUD repository is something which is coming from the package org.springframework.data.repository. The syntax is it is the interface. So public interface CRUD repository. So there is the parameter t oblique id extends repository t of id. So t is nothing but it is the domain. So t is basically the domain type what our repository manages, and the id is type of the id of that entity that we are going to manage within our repository. That parameter we are going to pass here. And for example, public interface product repository I'm just going to take for today's call, and which is extend this CRUD repository. So I'm just going to take this product as the domain type and the integer as the one of the id from that model classes, whatever we are going to use. Similarly, Spring Boot JPA and repository is there. So this is coming from this Spring framework.data.jpa repository. So it is extending basically both CRUD repository as well as paging and sorting repository. So this is the interface which extends the JPA repository. This is the example. For example, if any product GAO class which extends this JPA repository, we can implement our classes as per the requirement. So basically the Spring data repository interfaces looks like this one. Though these three interfaces belong to Spring Data Commons library, repository, CRUD repository, paging and sorting repository. And this is the JPA repository which is coming from the Spring Data JPA. So there is some sort of differences between JPA repository and the CRUD repository. Let's go through it. So CRUD repository is basically it does not provide any method for the pagination and sorting purpose. But in case of JPA repository, it extends the paging and sorting repository. So it provides basically all the methods for implementing the pagination concept. So this is the CRUD repository, just like a Marka interface, and JPA repository is extending the both CRUD repository as well as paging and sorting repository. So CRUD repository basically provides the functionality like CRUD functions like find by ID method is there and find all method is there. But in case of JPA repository, it provides some extra methods along with the basic methods of the paging and sorting repository and the CRUD repository. For example, there is the flush method and the delete in batch method. We can delete our records in a batch. So CRUD repository basically, when we want it, do not need the any functionality provided by the JPA repository and paging and sorting concept. So we can go with this CRUD repository. But if you want to implement paging and sorting functionality within our applications, so we mostly go for this JPA repository. So let me create one example class so that example project with the help of Spring Initializer tool, and then we can go ahead with that project. So start.spring.io is the website through which we are going to create our project. So here project type will be Maven Java project. I'm just going to select any one of the version for this Spring Boot. Let me select for now 2.7.7, and my default package I'm just going to select as Java Talent, and my project name will be Spring Boot CRUD example. So package name I'm just going to make our com.java talent, and jar, this is the packaging type will be jar, and here you can select any one of the Java version. I'm going to hit as Java 8 for now. You can select any one of them, and there is the dependency I'm just going to use here as Spring Web dependency, first one, to use the RESTful web services, and then I'm just going to use Spring Data JPA for our JPA implementation, and to use our in-memory database, which is nothing but S2 database. I'm just going to use this S2 database dependency. So these three dependency I'm going to use for this project. So you can just generate this project, and it has been generated. Let me extract it. I am extracting here. You can extract any locations, whether it will be your project directly here. I'm just going through this Eclipse tools. So I'm just going to open that project. Let me open that project, or you can import your project. So let me import existing Maven project. I have already downloaded it. So I have downloaded today this one. Okay. So it is importing 9%, and then let it be import this project for now. You can paste that downloaded project into your work space, and from there you can import your project into your ID. That will be the best option. Okay, so this is the basic base package. So let me create one package here. Let me create some packages. First I will create the com.java talent dot controller. So let me create some packages. So I'm just creating this controller package. Let me create the another package com dot java talent dot model to create our model classes, and then com dot java talent dot repository for our repository classes. So yeah, this is all. So let me create the model class. So I'm just going to take my model class as product. I'm just going to work with the product table. So let me create the product. So I'm just going to create this products class as the model class. So let me define some attributes on that particular model class. Private int product ID, private string name of the product, private string manufacturer, and then price. Private int price of the product. So I'm just going to use this model class as our entity class to map with the database. So mark this class as the entity class. I need to use the annotation @entity. It will be coming from this java.persistent package. And to define this product ID as the primary key, there is the annotation @ID. So this will be become our javax.persistent.id. So let's see id interface. It will be a map the column for the primary key of the entity. So it will map to this primary key. Hence our product ID will become a primary key. And to make the column for that particular field as the column for our table, I'm just going to use this @column annotations. So you can just go with the name. If you want to change the name of that particular column in your database, you can just change that. And to make it as this class name is itself as the table name, I'm just going to use this attribute annotations table. So this is the table value. Specify the primary table for this annotation entity. Whatever the entity I have used for that one, it is going to be create the table. So our model class is ready. So let me generate the getter and setters. So if you want to generate your setters and getters, you can just right click, go to the source and generate getter and setters. You can select all the field. It will create a getter and setter for you. Format it. So our product is ready, means our model class is ready. So next is, let me create the repository class. So as I have already mentioned, we need to create our repository class by extending CRUD repository. Correct? Means we need to extend our CRUD repository. So let me create this as the interface. So our interface name will be products repository. And I wanted to extend which wanted to we wanted to extend the CRUD repositories. So let me extend this CRUD repository. See, CRUD repository, and it is expecting to type T, means the first value. What it will be? Our model class products, and second value will be the ID part. Whatever the ID we wanted to get it, so that will be the second part. So that is nothing but we have taken as integer. Yeah. So our repository interface is ready. So products repository. If you want, you can see CRUD repository. It extends the repository interface. And then there is the method, multiple method, save to save the entity, save all by passing the entities, find by ID based on the ID. If you wanted to find any record, exist by ID to check whether the ID exists or not, find all, it will return all the value, find all by ID, count is there, delete by ID is there. Yes, delete is there by passing that entity itself, we can delete the details. Okay, so our repository class is ready. So the next is we can create our next service class. So let me create our service class. So I have not created the package. So let me create the package com.java talent.service. So let me create this service class. So I'm just creating a products service, and I wanted to make this class as the service class. So for that I need to annotate this class with the service @service annotations. So you can I will create the annotations video later. So if you see, this is the service interpret. It will value may indicate that the service name for logical component name, whatever the component we have used component to make our classes is the bin. So this is depends on this service class. So it is the service class. For that reason, we have used service annotations on top of it. So make our class as the service class, and we need to auto wire our repository here. Products repository, products repository. So we need to auto wire this class within this one. So on that case, we need to use auto wire notations. Okay, to inject our class within the another class. And let me fetch or create first. Let me some find all details. Whatever the details I am going to use, that I am just going to get. So getting all products, whatever the product is available within our database, I'm just going to use using method find all. There is the method find all of CRUD repository. I'm just going to use that method here. So this will be a returning as the list. There will be a multiple products. So I'm just going to make our method as returning the list of products. So public list of products, list of products is equal to not equal to, it is a actually we are just going to get the method name here. So public list of products get all products. I am just going to fetch all the products what is available there. So let me java.util.list, and we need to return the list. Now that's why it is giving the red symbol. Not an issue, we will return the list. So let me create a list of products equal to new list of products. Okay, and then I'm just going to get that from this products repository. So products repository dot find all. There is the method, if you see, find all. So it will return all instances of the type find all method. And I'm just going to iterate over this for each loop. So for each products one, and I'm just going to add this within that products dot add of products one. This is the simple logic. What I am just fetching that record and printing that into that particular products one, and I needs to return that products. Fine. So here it is the products. So I needs to create the products one, and then products ones dot add of products one. and then here I will return simply the products. Fine. So this is what I wanted to use. So before of that, let me create one method that will insert the record first using the save method, so that we can check whether our record is inserted into the database, and then we are able to fetch that as the complete list or not. So let me create one more method here for the save operations. Okay, so saving a record by using save method. Okay, so what I will do is I will just create one method. I'm just going to use save for update, or both the methods I will going to use, and based on the uh, parameter, means based on the method, whatever the get or post, it will be post or patch basically, or put. I will just going to hit that. So I'm just going to, and I'm just going to take it as a void, public void save or update. I'm just not going to return any value. Save or update, both method I'm just going to use the same. So what I need to pass is products, and products repository dot save what product. So this will save our products into the database. Fine. Okay. So let me take this as the save method for now. I will save the method. So now I need to go to this controller class to create our controller. So let me create our controller class, products controller, and I will let's to make this class as the controller. So I need to annotate this as the @REST controller, because I'm just going to use REST controller here. Why? There is some differences between the REST controller and controller. So I will cover that part later. Let me describe that one. So REST controller is okay. So REST controller class makes the using our annotation REST controller. So there is the two combination of this one. So REST controller is the combination of two annotations. So if you see, this is the annotations controller, and there is the response body. So conventional annotation that itself annotated with the controller and the response body. That means it is the carrying both. It will be map our controller with that response body. So there is no needs to use two annotations. So we can simply use this REST annotations at the REST controller for our controller class within the RESTful web services. Okay. So let me auto wire our service class here. So I needs to auto wire our service class. So products product service product service auto wire. Fine. Now I needs to use the method to create the product and to get the product. That means to fetch the product. So create the get method to call our fetch record. So I need to create the get method. So let me create that. Create a get mapping basically to retrieve all the products. product details. So what I will do is private list of products get all product util class, and here I will need to return from the service class product service dot. There is the two method we have created, get all products and one save method we have created. So here I'm just going to fetch all the records. I'm just returning that value. Okay, fine. So, and I'm just going to use this as the get method. So for that, I need to use the get mapping to map our request URL. So I'm just going to use product as the our URL binding. So this is the fetching all the record. Let me create one more method to create the product to save the product basically. To save the product, we need to use our post method, HTTP post method. So let me create the private int save product. I just wanted to return that product one record has been inserted, or I just wanted to get that product ID basically. So say product, what I need to save is products, fine. Product service dot save of that particular product. So it will save the products, and then I wanted to return products dot get product ID. I just wanted to return the product ID. Whatever the product has been inserted or saved, I just wanted to return that ID. And here, let me write some comment. Creating post mapping to save the product details, and then add the rate post mapping of products. Okay. So to make this products as request body, actually we need to pass the request body to save this record. So to make that as the request body, we need to use one annotations as the request body, so that this products will become a body sections when we are going to hit the post URL to save this record. Okay, so the next step is, now we need to write the database configurations. So you can go through this source main resources and then application.properties file, where we need to write down the S2 database configurations. You can go through that source main sources and application.properties file. So here I need to write some configurations for the URL, driver class name, username and password for our S2 database details. So let me enabling the S2 console. So basically how we can enable our S2 console. So spring dot S2 dot console dot enable. That is the most important feature if you are going to use S2 database. So you need to enable the S2 console. Now S2 database configurations I'm just going to use, but it is spring dot data source means the URL and all. Data source dot URL. So it is JDBC colon S2 colon MEM colon. So this is my logical database name testdb. So you can use any one of your name, and then spring dot data source dot driver class name. So driver class name org dot s2 dot driver. This is the s2 database driver class name, and then spring dot data source dot username. So basically the username is there, and then spring dot data source dot password. So I can make it as null because there is no any database password I have configured here. And there is some sort of Hibernate configurations as well we need to provide. Hibernate configurations. For example, for the water dilate we are going to use spring dot jpa dot database platform, that means the dilate basically org dot hibernate dot dilate dot s2 dilate. I'm just going to use. And if you want to show your JDBC query, SQL query, so you can enable jpa dot show SQL true. So it will show your query on the console. And if you want to create database and all details automatically, there is the Hibernate DDL auto is there. So there is the multiple value like create. It will use to create the schema and destroy previous data. Create and drop. It will create and then destroy the schema at the end of the sessions. None, nothing will happen. Disable the DDL handling. Update, it will update the schema, skip necessary and validate. So I'm just going to use update, means if there is the database already with that configuration, that will update that details and create one new for me. Okay, see the project directory structure here. This is my main root class, this is my controller, this is my model, and this is my repository, and this is my service class, and this is my application properties class. Fine. So this is all the details. And if you see your pom.configuration file, so we have used data JPA and we have used the web dependency, correct? And S2 database dependency we have used. These three dependency we have used. So let me run this project so you can just get the idea. Run this project as Spring Boot app. And let's see. Somewhere you are able to see your console. See S2 console available at slash S2 hyphen console, and it is on the port 8080. Fine. And this is your database available at these details, whatever the details we have provided. And let me show that one. So localhost 8080 S2 console. So this is the URL I have hit. Localhost 8080 S2 console. So this is the console. I'm not going to provide any password. This is the JDBC URL. Whatever the URL we have used, same is appear. You can check for you. Whatever the name you have given, same name will needs to be there, and you needs to just hit on the connect. So it will connect your database and see products schema is already generated. So let me run this command. There is nothing. There is no any record inserted, but the schema is ready for our use. Fine. So let me open the Postman. So I will hit the and point to this Postman tools. to send the request. So you can install the Postman. Fine. So I have just created one collections, Postman collections, product management, and this is the get request. And here I'm just going to provide the URL. So HTTP localhost 8080 products. What we have given, let me see the controller. Here, the raw file and then the JSON file. So here I need to provide the body. So let me provide the body as the JSON. So the first value will be product ID we have taken. So product ID we have taken as integer. So 121, and then the name, and name I'm just taking as Samsung. Product name is Samsung Galaxy, and manufacturer is Samsung. Price I'm going to take it as 18,000. Fine. So this is the what I need to send basically. So hit the endpoint, and then we are getting this as the result 121, because we have written our code as per the product ID, name, manufacturer, price, and then we are just returning this product ID as the response. See the controller logic. See here. So we have written this integer value to get our when we are passing the request body, then we are just getting this as the return value. Means whatever the product ID it has been inserted, same we are returning from this post mapping. Fine. So this value has been inserted. Let's see the database. Run this, and you are able to see this 121 Samsung Galaxy and 18,000 is inserted. So let me insert some more value. So 122. This time I am just taking Realme 8 Pro, and then this will be Realme company, and just I'm taking 12,000 and hit the URL. So 122, the second record is also inserted. See the database 122 Realme, manufacturer, and the name of this product and price. So let me hit the third endpoint 123, and this one iPhone 14 Pro, product name, and the manufacturer is Apple. Let me make it as 1,10,000. Fine, and hit the endpoint. So this is 123 product ID we are getting. See the database. So these three records we have inserted. Let me insert one more record and find ProBook, and this will be suppose Lenovo, and price I'm just assuming 14,000. So 124. So this all records has been inserted, and we are able to see successfully within the database. Fine. So this is the two get insert, and basically we have done, and our product is also fetching the records. So for that we are having the get call. So let me see that these four records we will see on the get call. So what is that get call? Let me create one more request here. Let me duplicate it, and this one I'm just going to take it as get call, and whatever the details we have given, product is the URI for that get mapping. So let me hit the product. So it will list out all the product basically. So this is the get call. So this can be possible through the browser itself. See 121, 122, 123, and 124. All four record is coming successfully. And okay, so let me go ahead and add other logic as well to get the record by ID, and update the record, delete the record. Okay, so let me create one method in service class to fetch. Actually, here we are fetching all records. So let me create one method to fetch a record by specific ID. Okay. So let me create one method. So you can create anywhere. So I'm creating at bottom, getting a specific product by using find by ID method. Okay. So let me create public products, get product by ID, and then products. Here int basically ID. So this ID, and then I'm just returning, going to return that products as a result. So return product repository dot, there is one method find by ID, and here I need to pass that ID, and I need to get all the details for that particular ID. So next one is let me create the method for return one to delete the record or update the record. So the next one is update the record. Okay. So to update the record, let me create one method updating a product. Updating product. So here public void update method I'm just going to create here by passing the products, 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 and then integer of that product ID as the value. If that is available, so that will be update. So product repository dot save. So basically save is also going to update the records products. Okay, with the same methods we can do the same thing. It will depends on whatever the URI we are passing. For example, to call this one we will use patch or put. So here I am going to use put, and for this one I will use post call. So let me create one more method for the deleting the product. Deleting the product. So let me create one more method, public void delete, simple delete method, and it will delete based on the product ID, int ID, product repository dot delete. Here if you see delete product entity by passing the product entity, and delete all product by ID and then by ID. So I'm just going to delete based on this ID. Perfect. So I have ready with the other three method for a specific value, and then updating a product and then deleting the product. So here in the controller I need to create that method. So let me create that method. So first I'm just going to check for that one, but it will be based on the ID. Okay. So create the value. So this will be also the get call, private products get product. It will be based on the ID. So that retrieves the details of the specific product. So get products. Just I am just getting that one as a method. And here the method call will be at the rate path variable. Based on that variable, whatever the value I'm just going to give here. So that is the product ID. Based on the product ID, I'm just going to get the value product ID. So let me create the method here. So what it will be? It will be a get call. So get mapping, and our URL will be product place of product ID. So based on this product ID, I'm just going to call this method. So what it will be get? It will get the product. So I'm just going to return that product. Simply return product product service dot get product by ID. Actually, we have created one method, and based on that product ID, I am just going to return that value. So this method will work for the that will get the or fetch the product based on the product ID. It will fetch the record based on the product ID. Okay. So next call will be updating the product. Updating the product based on product ID. So let me create the update one. So update one will be the same call, this one, and we just need to change our method type, whatever the method type we are going to use. So the put mapping we are going to use. Fine. So let me copy this whole method in place of writing once again, and here I will change the method name. Update product. Perfect. So this will update the product, and here we are going to pass the products, and then this will be a update, not the this one. So why it is giving error? Update, it will be expecting with the product ID and product. Okay. So let me change the method for the update one as well in the service class. So we have taken the update one, correct? So let me change that method here, updating one. So it will basically save or update. It will check for the update, or we can use this method as well. Save method here. So let me go ahead and use the same method. We can do that. Save or update or save method we can use. Not an issue to match this as the put mapping. So here I am going to use this put mapping, and here I am going to use the same save method. And in place of returning this as the ID, I will return the product itself. Whatever the product it is going to return, and just return this products. Product service dot save, and then okay. So here the return type will be products. So that will return the updated products as a response. Fine. So there is no need to use this update method anymore. We can work with the same save method here. From this one, we can use both save or update. So we can use, there is one more method. If you see product repository, let me see, save or update. You can just give the name as save or update. This one as the method name, and so that this method is not required anymore. Saving or updating. Okay. So same method we can use for our save operation as well as for our update operations. There is no problem. With help of this put mapping or post mapping based on our method type, HTTP method types, it will work. Fine. So here I'm just going to updating the product, remove this one. So it will update the product ID. Fine. So URL will be the same, but the method call will be different. So okay, our thing is ready. Now we need to test it. So let me do the test. So let me actually I have created something here. So let me make a get call first, if there is any data is there or not. So basically, okay, we need to start our server. So you can run your project here, Spring Boot. Let's see first database if there is any value or not. S2 console. See, let me open the S2 console first by refreshing my browser. Okay, so there is no any value. So first we need to insert the record. Insert the record. So let me make a post request here. So what will be the value? Let me give some value. Product ID, basically product ID 121, name Samsung Galaxy, whatever the name we have given, same name I'm going to use. Manufacturer Samsung, and the price will be suppose 18,000. So let me hit the URL. So basically we are just returning this value because we have just returned the product ID itself. So let me create more record to iPhone 14 Pro. Manufacturer is Apple. Make it as 1,10,000 is the URL. So one more entry. Let me do that. Realme Pro. Manufacturer is Realme, and the cost will be 11,000. Okay. Oh, we have given the product ID as same. Let me see the database. Okay. So the first one has been updated as well. No problem. Let me create one more. 123 iPhone 14 Pro, Apple, and make 1,10,000. Fine. So now we have the three records. Perfect. So let's see one by one. Now I wanted to hit the this one will be, let me rename it update product, and this one will be the get product. So this one will be the get product, make get call. So hit me this URL. So all the list will be gone. Okay, means our product endpoint is also working. Let me see that. And if you see the console, there you are able to see the query. Why? Because we have added this one properties. So SQL, for that reason it is coming up, otherwise it will not come. And get by ID. So there is the product we need to fetch by ID. So there is 121, 122, 123. These three product ID is there. So based on that ID, it will return the value. So let me, okay. So this will be a get call, not the delete call. Let me hit that. Yes. So 121 Samsung Galaxy is coming. If you put the 122, it will respond based on that product ID. Fine. So that is also working. The next one is update, means put call. So this will be a put call, and I'm just going to check first 121. 121 is Samsung Galaxy Samsung 18,000. Let me update name and price both. So here 121. So here I will need to pass 121, not this one, this is the put call. So here I need to pass 121, and what is the value? Samsung Galaxy, and then 18,000. So let me change the name and price. Samsung Galaxy Pro, and this will be, I am leaving at same. So the price will be 20,000 now. So let me hit it. Okay. So now we are able to get 121 Samsung Galaxy Pro, Samsung, and 20,000 rupees. So if you see this one will change. Let hit. Okay. Fine. Perfect. And then let me delete this Samsung one only. Okay. We are able to perform update. This will be insert call, means create product, and this will be update product. Fine. So now I will needs to get by ID is working, and get product is working, create product is working fine, update is working fine, delete one. So let me delete this 121 records. So what is the 121? 121 is Samsung Galaxy. So let me delete that. This is the delete endpoint, product, and then product ID. Let me hit that. Method not allowed. Why? See that product and 121. Let me show the controller. Okay, fine. So we have not created our delete method inside the controller. Okay, so let me create that one. So service class is fine. Service class we have created, but we forgot to create this in controller class. So let me create the controller, because that is not fine. If you see that one, na, method not allowed, that means for not found, method not allowed. So let me create the delete endpoint as well. Okay, so let me copy this one, and I will make it as at the rate delete mapping, and based on this product ID I will delete the product. So here I'm just going to return the void, because I do not need to get any record. Delete product based on this product ID, and here product service dot delete this product ID. No needs to return any value. Fine. So we are good. So let me write it. Deleting the product based on product ID. So let me test it. So now I need to run again our project. So this time also I need to insert, because once you close your project, so our S2 database details has been gone, because we have used this one now property, this one TDL auto update. Every time if you run your project, it will create the new schema. See, create table products, all the details is coming. So if you see your schema, it is blank, and then see. So let me hit the okay post call first. Let me create one product, and let me create one more product, Samsung Galaxy Samsung, and then let me create 20,000. So if you get all product list, there will be two product, 121 and 123. So let me delete this 123. Delete 123. Perfect. See, we are getting the success response, and then our detail, we are not returning any value for that region. It is not getting any response here. So if you see this endpoint, you will mostly not get that iPhone 1. So let me go there in the S2 database and show you. See, only one record is there. Let me try once again to create one more product and show you. Realme Pro, Realme, make it as 12,000. Get product, two product is there. See this console, two product is there. Let me delete this Samsung 121. Go 121. Hit the endpoint. Fine. Get the product. 121 gone. 122 is there. See the console. Fine. Yeah. So this is the one what we want is to show you guys. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe and like my video.